Can you guys hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. Holy shoot. I'm just going to wait here and let me know. Can you guys hear me? It looks like you can hear me based on what I'm seeing on my readings, on my levels. But then I'm so confused. So what happened was I definitely was hearing an echo when I was playing sound effects on previous streams as I was rewatching stuff. And so did all this research, other people that use the same software that I do, Ecamm, and some people were complaining about the same thing that I was about this echo, because there is this built-in loop back that's built into Ecamm, and it's used for certain things, but then it's always feeding back into itself. So that's why I was hearing double sounds for the sound effects. But then I found this one option to uncheck, and I did a couple tests on YouTube, just private tests, and it seemed to work. It seemed like the echo was gone. So, for example, when I play a sound effect like... there's no echo, or actually you can hear it more with... let me make that a little louder in my ears. You can hear it more with when they're talking, so...
He goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "John."
Like, there shouldn't be an echo when you guys hear that, right? I don't know. Now I'm so confused. Let me see. Let's try another one.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
Like, do you guys hear any echo on that? MMO, how about yours? I don't know. It's so confusing because I could never hear the echo live. But then when I went back and heard the recording, I would hear an echo. So anyway, all these tests I did, the echo was gone. I was like, awesome. But then now it seems like I'm peaking a little bit. Is my voice too loud too? Now it seems like it stopped all the sound playing into the thing. Oh man, I am so confused. This was supposed to be a simple stream. I don't have that much time today. It was supposed to be a simple stream. Okay, no echo. Everybody's saying no echo. Awesome. Awesome? Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't want to get caught up on it too much, but it's so frustrating. Are there closed captions, Mark? Please let me know if they are. I think they are. Level's good. Okay. I'm on a tablet that sounds aren't professional sounding. Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, awesome one? Speaking of which, how about this?
Yes! That's awesome!
I made one for you, awesome one. Well, let's listen to that again.
Yes! That's awesome!
Did that sound professional enough for you? Probably not. But yeah, I got to squeeze that one in. Emo Trash, you are next on my list, I promise. But anyway, hopefully everything is sounding okay now. You can hear the sound effects with no echo. Oy, oy, oy. Ferris Comics, thank you. Closed captions showing. Okay, awesome. Great. Mark's Music Obsession says voice level is good. No echo. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for keeping me in check. I'm not going to even wait for your answer, awesome one, because you are going to give me some sort of crazy answer about my toilet or John fixing my toilet. Where is John? Is John here? I didn't even... Oh, John is here. Going for a walk. See you after it if you're still going. Hopefully, it is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today because I have something going on at a certain time, at dinner time, that I got to get to. But after being in Sean's chat, and then I had the repairman come, and he finished, and I was like, "Ooh, can I squeeze one in?" And I was like, I have to squeeze one in because I went to the shop this morning. Didn't think I was picking up that much, anything that much, and I didn't. But then, sorry, I'm looking for my Exacto. But then I took a look over, and they have like a graphic novel section, and I was like, wow, that looked a little bit more stocked than I was used to. And I talked to Zoe, who works behind the counter, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we just put some new ones there." So I just flipped through, and I was like, "Oh, dang it!" So I ended up buying some discounted graphic novels, which I'll show in a second. But I do want to get to one of my unboxings. So I have two unboxings. One of them I'm not going to do today because I just got in contact with a creator of the writer of one of the unboxings, and he agreed that he will show. He'd be happy to come on to my show, which is awesome, which is really great, and I'm so excited because I've really wanted to meet him and just connect with him, and that'd be really great to just for him to talk about this book that I backed. It's a preview book that I backed, so I am pretty sure that one of my unboxings is that book. And I haven't opened it yet, but I will open it on whenever I have him on, just kind of working out the details of the schedule of that. So that's that. But I do have a second one that I do want to open up. And selfishly, it's because I want to read it. And, and so I want to open it up here, and then I'll read it probably over the weekend sometime. So that's that. And then I have the graphic novels that I picked up today. Man, there's just so much stuff. I feel like I just did this, right? This was just this past Friday I did this. And then yet I still have some new stuff. So it's a little crazy. And then just being on Shant's stream, I know a lot of you guys were on today's stream that Shant did. And he did, was it the night before? I can't tell with Shant because he did a late night stream. I want to say Monday night that I jumped on. It was totally impromptu. He was like, "Hey, you want to come on?" And I came on, didn't turn on my camera. It was just me talking to him. But we had a great time. It was like a classic Shant in the middle of the night stream. And so I think we were up till, I don't know, 1 something on that stream. And then we kept talking even after the stream was over till about, it was like 2 something my time, which is like, all I know is when we signed off, he was like, "Hey, look, the sun's coming out." So it was really late. But then I was happy to see him stream again today. And it's just it just excites me and excites, when you kind of see some momentum from other channels. And then the last reason, or maybe the biggest reason that I wanted to stream today was just to say, hey, we hit 250, guys. Last stream, I think we were at like what were we at? 235, 240, and we hit 250. So I think officially 251, thanks to Ferris Comics from Shant's stream subscribed. I saw that subscription kind of come up. So thank you so much, Ferris Comics, and there we go. We hit 250, which is pretty exciting. I kind of wish I had a bigger celebration. Or what else we got? I wish we had a bigger celebration, but yeah, I'm super excited and super grateful, and all of you guys were a big part of that. So thank you so much. We're at 250, on the road to what? What was it, Comrade Sammy? Did you say 300? I don't know. And in classic 250 fashion, it was a boomeraki moment at the beginning there. Ferris Comics says, "I hear you." No echo. Okay, just catching up. Levels are good. 3 for 3. Clash. Yep. Awesome. MMO says, "I love mine." Love mine too. John's going for a walk. Okay. Add more bravado and unction. Oh my gosh.
Yes! That's awesome!
Rocky's wallet is connected to a comic string that is pulled, and it opens it up for comics. And it's about to be empty really soon. Seriously, going to be empty. But it's good. It's good fun. I'm not such a quick spendthrift with comics where I'm just like, yeah, he says bye. I mean, I see some people that I see walk in, pick up their books from the store, and then they'll just get every single book on the rack and walk out there with a stack. I'm not that kind of person. I'm pretty selective. But when I buy something, I'm pretty excited about why, and there's a few reasons why I do buy it. So you'll understand when you see the graphic novels, at least that I picked today, why I picked them up. Mark's music session now 2:51. I know, it's crazy, right? Crazy. It was Monday night was Sean's stream. Okay. See, it all blended in. It was Monday night turning into Tuesday morning for us. I have a blonde woman staring at me and occasionally speaking makes me think of what emo may look like. A blonde woman staring at you. Wow, that one came out of nowhere. I just left Star Sand stream and went to bed, and apparently Al picked up right there. 24-hour entertainment for you guys all. Morbius stream it was. That's right. That's right. It was a Morbius stream. 2:51 now. Thanks to you, Ferris Comics. Appreciate that. Cooking and ignored chat during that time. What's actually funny is that my mom and I just recently bleached my hair. So yeah, I'm partially blonde. Wow. Okay. There we go. Yes, 300 will be here in no time. You know what? And I was saying this to Shant, like it felt like 50 was a huge milestone for me. Actually, 40 was a huge milestone for me. So then it just kind of accelerated a little bit to get to this point. Maybe I wasn't tracking it as closely, but yeah, 250 creeped up on me. So I'm really, really excited. I'm half a century of well, I guess you don't describe it with century. Oh, 250, whatever, 250 subscribers. Have you played Detroit Become Human? There's an android woman who stares at you in the main menu. I haven't. That sounds terrifying. All right, everybody. So let me get into it. Enough of this chit-chat stuff. I seriously don't have that much time. 40 ounce. What's up, Sean? How are you, man? We're just going to keep this train rolling, right? That's what we're going to do. Just keep it going. Had so much fun chatting with you and watching you paint again. And there's something about Shant and Jetty in the late hours that's great. We have good conversations even after the stream's over, but it's awesome to see you, man. Shant arrives as well. There we go. Everybody's saying hello to Shant. We've come full circle. That's right. We have come full circle. Okay, I'm going to get into it. Oh, man, my cat is... Hold on a second. My cat is scratching at the door. One hold. The problem is muted. Now is the time is when they start begging. Speak around 5-ish, even earlier. So Mark's music session says he has a whole 21 subs. You know what? We can get that higher, right? People, subscribe to Mark's Music Obsessions channel. Let's get him to 25. 25 is a good number. Mark's got his number one post or highest. I mean, it's higher than any viewer count than I have. How many views do you have on that one post, Mark? But he's doing a review on a piece of audio equipment. That one was like, I don't know, 5,000, 8,000 views or something crazy like that. But Mark also posts up some nice videos of his dog, Maggie, and his boat. So yeah, subscribe to Mark. Keep it going. We can tag team. We'll have like Shant's doing his painting. We'll slide into comics, and then we'll end up on Mark on his boat. Actually, he'll probably be going to bed, though, at the time we get to that. Or waking up, depending on how late. Rocky, you skipped my racist comment. Also, cancel me.
Yes! That's awesome!
Oh, my goodness. Shanthan Jetty Art says 22 now. How about that, Mark? How about that? I think like 6,500 views now. Not sure. It's pretty crazy. Like there's some videos that, you kind of track them maybe like a day, a two, even a week after you post, just trying to track and see how the viewership goes up. But then as they move farther down the feed, you don't look at them much. And then you look back and you're like, oh, wow, that one jumped up. Or I have a YouTube short that really clicked yesterday where I did... it was the Incredible Hulk one-shot, the Blood Hunt one-shot that I flipped through last stream. Yeah, I did a really quick YouTube short for that one, and that one really clicked and got a lot of views. So it was pretty awesome. Okay, let me get to this first. That's right. Hashtag sub for Maggie. Let me get on this first part because I want to make sure I get through everything today. But this was the first, not first, this is the second package that I got. The first one, like I had mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm going to save because I'm going to get that creator on. Just matter of scheduling. Let me push my keyboard out of the way. All right. This one, oh, weird. They gave me a paper bag. No, it's not a paper bag. Wait, I think I know what this is. Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. So this is kind of a weird one. But the reason why I picked this one up was because of the artist in this. And Ladronn, the main artist on this is Jose Ladronn. And he, I've talked about him before on previous streams, but he had this really weird style when he first appeared in comics, at least when I first discovered his stuff. And he referenced a lot of Kirby, like old Jack Kirby work, but kind of in a modern way. So it was really this weird, like, wait, what is this guy trying to do Kirby? And it was kind of weird and interesting. And then they had this story written by Joe Casey for Cable. And he did this whole run on Cable in this style. And it was just the weirdest style. It didn't really totally... This is not him. Who is this? Oh, this is Stephen Platt. Interesting. I have not actually read this storyline at all. Wow, this is like later Platt stuff, like after he did Prophet, when he was like chilling out and realized he couldn't draw as crazy as he used to. Still kind of crazy though. That's cool. Wow, I didn't even know it was in here. But I got this compilation because I really started appreciating Ladronn's work later in his career, and I have some stuff that I'll pull out and show you guys in a second. But yeah, his early stuff is kind of this wonky style, again, referencing Kirby quite a bit, but then also making it a lot more modern. I haven't even seen some of this stuff. This is very weird. But like this was like, wow, that's kind of interesting, kind of. And I had never seen, at least at this time when this came out, this was, let's see. This was originally published in late 90s. I had not seen somebody try and emulate a Jack Kirby style. And at the time, it's like late 90s, we were looking at like the Image guys, right? So this was totally off my radar. But when you see where Ladronn ended up, you'll realize like, then it made me go, oh wow, I want to kind of go back and see how he started and how he got there. He seems like he's quite a chameleon. Like that is starting to be something different than what Kirby did. But it still has the like Kirbyisms, like the mark making, like these kind of faces, really weird. These ink marks, these really like squiggly shadows that really didn't have any reality, nothing based on reality, just style and dynamic. These like really blocky hands, chunky faces. But then he had these very, very highly detailed like hatch lines. which was not Kirby. I guess he had different inkers. And then he would do these huge sci-fi epic like worlds, which was very Kirby. So yeah, it was this weird amalgamation of styles, but it was so interesting. And when I get to the end of this, I'll show you guys where he ended up, because it'll kind of blow your mind. Some of the I unboxed a long time ago, maybe several months ago. He did a Inhumans miniseries after this. I'll show you guys that. So yeah, anyway, that's why I picked this up, because it was a whole compilation of the issues of Cable that he worked on. Very bizarre, very weird, but I never knew that they compiled it. So at times I would look for individual issues and I'd only find like one here, and then, it would skip a few, and then this is not him. This is another artist. This is him, I think. Oh no, this is not him. Such a weird style. This is a weird one. This is Ladronn again. Okay, let's see. Where are you guys? Austin one says it's the quote from Apu in The Simpsons. And Sean says, I know the quote. I guess I need to make an actual effort used review. To use the review? Or to make a new review? 23 now. You guys are awesome. Now the pressure's on, Mark. You got to produce more reviews or more videos of Maggie. Where are Cranberry and John? Mark's music says. Yeah, John's on a walk. He'll be back. He'll be back. I thought it was storming around where John was. Was that somebody else? It's like crazy weather. It's like a total chill 65 here, and everybody's talking about all this crazy weather, storms, thunderstorms, and heat wave, and I'm like, looks the same to me. Mark's Music Obsession says, all the tourists I have to deal with, maybe sometime it can be some of the cool people in these chats invading my area. A boat trip full of cool comic people. That'd be awesome. You should do like a boat tour, Mark. Does this look blurry? Hang on a second. It does look blurry. There we go. Repairman, groomsman. Yes, he came in. It was pretty quick. I had to have an ice maker repaired in our fridge, which was horrible because we had a crazy heat wave about a week ago, and then our ice maker broke. And then the guy came to repair it, and he opened up our ice maker, and it was full of ice, which I've been checking literally for the last 7 days every day to see if it had any ice, and there was no ice. And then for some odd reason, it got freaked out that he was coming and started producing ice. I don't know what it was. Here's some cool images, Ladronn images. So yeah, I mean, you guys get the idea of Ladronn. That's cool, his claw. Just these fat, Kirby-like faces. Chunky. Chunky bodies. This is not him, is this? No, this is Rick Leonardi. Rick Leonardi's great. Rick Leonardi was the main designer on Spider-Man 2099, and he had a run on Cloak and Dagger, X-Men. He's still working too. Who's this? Okay, so some of these I didn't mind. I just like that it like compiled. Who's this guy? It compiled Ladronn's work together. And oh yeah, here's more Ladronn. These like fat, square faces. This is Benjamin. Okay, so this is where Ladronn was. Oh, this is Ed McGuinness, I bet. Ed McGuinness had like thick, yeah, Ed McGuinness. thick, chunky, fat characters. This is Ladronn. This is McGinnis. Looks like an action figure. That's amazing. Ladronn. I guess they kind of divvied that up. All right, so this was Ladronn. That's why I got it, for Jose Ladronn's work. Cranberry Langers is here.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
What's up, man? This is where Ladronn went after that. Do you guys remember these? I opened these up one stream ago. And he started painting his stuff. The interiors didn't look like this, just the covers did. But he did the interiors too. I'll open up this one. But like, that is a totally crazy jump from the initial Cable stuff. Hey, don't chew. Hey. Cat's chewing my paper. But they started painting it a lot differently than that Cable stuff. What you doing, bud? It's like sitting in the paper bag. So you can already see him evolving in like a totally different influence. This is where I started seeing like the Mobius influence in his work. So it's like you go from Kirby, which is still there. This kind of stuff still feels Kirby. But then you add this level of like rendering and just like concept design from Mobius. Like really epic sci-fi stuff. And you're like, okay, wow, this guy like leveled up. I love these covers so much. Really cool. And then, did I say hello to you, Mr. Monkey Boy? I'm sorry if I didn't. I did see you though. Welcome. And then he went to Elephant Man. Oh my gosh. This is where it went crazy. Have you guys heard of Hip Flask? So I've owned these for a while. Same writer, same artist, but looks totally different. Back out a little bit. Ugh. Look at this. Like, this looks totally different from, like, this is where he was like, okay, I'm going to absorb all of the European artists' influence and inject that into my work. So that all being said, it's like, it's just super incredible to see where his style evolved and went and how like he just kept learning and growing and changing as an artist and just kept doing it. It's really amazing. Like this stuff, if you said this is the guy that did Cable, I'd be like, what? That doesn't look anything like it, but it's the same artist. I have an Art of Ladronn book I'll show you guys in a second, which is primarily of this Hip Flask stuff. But I mean, come on, like get out of town. That's amazing. Really cool. Look at these, like this is like Mobius, highly influenced by Mobius here. Everybody's saying hello. Emotress says she had the storm. It's already gone. There, and like that, it was gone. But just like the colors, when he started painting his own style, his own stuff, phenomenal. Love it. Like this was a weird character, like a hippo detective in like a Blade Runner world, but he made him so cool. Hip Flask never looked any cooler than this. Some other artists have worked on him, but it hasn't looked cooler than this. This is another one. Like that's awesome. What? Get out of here. Would need a second boat for that type of charter fishing. Yeah, probably. Or we could jet ski behind. You could pull us. We could jet ski with our comics in hand. Would that work? Our ice maker is also broken. Coincidence? I think not. I think, well, at least for the heat wave, like everybody started, like we rarely use ice. We don't have to use ice where I live. But when it got hot, everybody was like, give me a cold drink. It's too hot. And then it was like, oh, ice maker doesn't work. Cranberry Landry says, I like claw. Yep. Awesome One says, our ice maker broke for over a year, just decided to work last week. Weird. That is weird. We could plan something around Pensacon. They already have a list of 2025 guests going. Would that be that would be weird to actually attend the Comic-Con and then meet some of you guys from the chat. That would be so crazy. Somebody was asking me recently if I was attending San Diego Comic-Con. And I used to go every year, long time ago, like over, almost over 20 years ago. But I would go, I think I've been there maybe like 5 or 6 times. And for those of you who don't know, San Diego Comic-Con is like the biggest, well, one of the biggest comic book conventions. It used to be the biggest that took place every year in San Diego. And it was all the comics greats were there. They would announce all the big announcements there. And then it started getting invaded by Hollywood right around the time of like, let me think. I mean, I think one of the biggest Comic Cons that I went to, it was like at the height of Twilight. And so the movie studios would have like big panels on, it was like Twilight was really big, and my cat is going crazy. Stop it. Twilight was really big, and then like they had Avatar, the first Avatar. They definitely had like the first Marvel movies, and the panels just started getting bigger. It was Hall H was the big panel. Stop it. You're literally like just pushing this away. Stop it. Buddy, stop it. Hey, get out. Oh, I see. He got stuck in the cord of my headphones. And he was trying to get out, and he kept pushing my drawers out. Hall H was the big hall there that they would do all the announcements, and you'd have to line up for like an hour or two to get in, but you could usually get in. And then once I started noticing that I couldn't get in, there was one time, I can't remember what panel it was for, but I waited in line for like, I don't know, it was at least 2 hours. And then when we got to the front of the line, somebody was like, nope, this is the cutoff here, you can't get in. And I was like, couldn't you have told me that like 2 hours ago, like measured out where the line ends and says anybody beyond this point couldn't go in? So I ended up wasting 2 hours of my life standing in line in the hot San Diego sun for nothing. And that's when I was like, okay, this is not fun anymore. Like, it just became really commercial, and yeah. So then I stopped going. And I haven't been back since. So this friend of mine was asking. It was actually Josh Book, who popped into the chat for the first time last stream. But he was asking if I was going because he goes every year. And I was like, nah, I'm not going. I haven't been in a long time. And if I'm going to go to a convention, I think I will pick like a smaller one that's more focused on comics and less inundated with Hollywood stuff. And granted, it's shrunk ever since COVID. It's definitely shrunk. And a lot of the bigger studios are pulling out from going now because it's just so expensive, and like housing is so expensive, and everything is just so expensive during those weeks. So yeah, but I would love to go. I mean, there is something really fun about going to a convention and just meeting. Yes, I will let you out. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. just meeting creators in person and discovering. I always love discovering artists that you wouldn't normally find, that you would just walk through like Artist Alley and see their books. And that's kind of how like YouTube is now, when you discover artists that you wouldn't normally find, independent artists that are just producing work. It's kind of like that. I know Shant said this a number of times, that like the independent comic YouTube world now, it's like Comic-Con, 24 hours just happening. So, but that would be fun to actually go to a con and meet some people, meet some of you guys. That would be awesome. Cranberry Langer says, I loved the Inhuman series. Mark's music obsession, he's peddling it. Pensacon, he's saying it. That's 8 hours away for Awesome One. That's not too bad. Whenever I go to San Diego is about 8 hours away for me. Hi, Cat. Yeah. That's more heavy metal. Yeah, there was definitely a heavy metal influence, European influence to the newer stuff that Ladronn says. But just look at his, like, this art of book. This guy could draw. Like, I wouldn't think this would come out of the original stuff that we were just looking at. Like this same artist, I would not think he's the same one that did this stuff. So his evolution has been really amazing to track over comics. And now he's doing more European stuff, bande dessinée. He's worked a lot with Jodorowsky, who is the main creator, writer, director that Mobius worked with a lot. So there's a lot of overlap there. Some of the recent stuff I've seen him do. But I really feel like this is like peak Ladronn right here. Like, super amazing. When you can combine, like the stuff he's doing with Jodorowsky right now is more in the Western vein. But if you can combine like sci-fi with his stuff, it's super amazing. Like, this is bananas. I love the colors too. Him coloring his own stuff is awesome. Emo Trash says, my cat destroys paper bags. They are not allowed to exist in his presence. Yeah. Elephant Man was gorgeous. Yeah. I recognize the Hippo Detective. Yeah, I mean, after he left the series, though, I didn't keep reading it. I didn't think the other artists could like really get anywhere near what he did. This is cool. He was using some simple 3D models and then rendering over it. So good. That's a 3D cars. Anyway, you get the picture. Then he does something like that. So cool. Ladronn, Jose Ladronn. That was Cable Hellfire Hunt. I'm not a huge fan of Joe Casey's writing, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This definitely beats like buying all the having to track down all the individual issues for this. It's nice to get a little bonus Stephen Platt issue in there too. I love Stephen Platt's work. It's really crazy, but it just encompasses the height of like Image Comics and that overly rendered, muscled out, over the top, exaggerated style. I'll have to go over some of his work in another stream. All right, cool. So that was the unboxing. Hip Flask was a stud. Yeah. I'm well set for water sports fun, ride on tow behinds, wakeboarding, kneeboarding. A meet for a meal at the con would be cool. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Let's just put a pin in that, Mark. Like, on this day, we were imagining it, and then sometime in the future, it'll come back and we'll look back and go, remember that one time in the chat? Rocky's cat was crying, yelling, and we were saying, what if we met at Pensacon? Kneeboarding? Oh my gosh. So you're torturing cat? No. This particular cat, I have two, and this particular cat, he's a bit pushy, and he like, when he wants something, and he will let you know it. He will cry super loud, and if he wants to sit on your lap, he'll push on your lap, and he'll get on your lap no matter how uncomfortable it is. He's really sweet though, but when he gets annoying, he can be super annoying. So in this particular case, he was like, he wanted to be near me, and then he got tangled up in my wires and then just kept pushing out of it. I don't have money for cons. Yeah, they can be. San Diego is super expensive for sure. And then that's not even like the stuff that you buy. That's like just getting in the door is super expensive. And then the cost of lodging and food is like all really expensive. Rocky, do you own that cat or does that cat own you? Depends on who you ask. I instinctively looked out the window for a cat. He's really loud. It's fine if your cat makes noises and is around, Rocky. People don't mind as much as you think. Just roll with it. Cat videos are one of the... It's true. I think in a close second behind like comic book videos or comic book posts are cat videos for me. So, and they're... When I think that... when I'm like, can I watch it? Can there be another cat video that's really funny? I'll see another one and I'll just bust out laughing. There's some really good ones out there. He had a growth spurt is what Mr. Monkey... He's plenty large. He doesn't need to grow anymore. Yeah, he's overweight. Watch Shelby pop in and talk about his cat. Yeah, I know he has a cat too that annoys him. It's so funny. Yep. We had a cat that didn't like being touched and also had a cat we wore as the good cat. That's funny. Yeah, I what was that? Like the recent post I saw, it was somebody saying like it was something to do with like the cats and their disgust for people. And like somebody was like touching their paw and the cat kept like pulling its paw away and it just gave him this look. And like you could really see this expression on its face. And it was just like, like, what are you trying to do? Touch me. Oh boy. Oh goodness. Cats are awesome. Did you get your two cats yet? Your brother's two cats yet? I know you said you were gonna inherit them or adopt them for a little bit. All right, here's the other one, or another one that I picked up. This is one I picked up today at the store called Batman Creature of the Night. Why did I pick this one up? Because none other than John Paul Leon was the artist on this. This was another series I knew that he did, and I never bit the bullet to buy the book. Why? I don't know. I always felt something like, oh, I could buy, it wasn't something that I needed to have right away. And I limit myself from here and there. But because it was discounted today, I was like, oh man, it's discounted. And I just picked up that issue of Midnighter that I showed you guys last stream. So I'm on this John Paul Leon kick and I was like, oh, cool. And I just grabbed it. I was like, yes, I got to get that. And the awesome thing, I think I was talking last stream about colors on him and like how certain colorists don't really work well with how graphic his style is, the inks, and how he uses inking, how like dramatic and stark he uses inking. And then to see that with like somebody trying to render it out color wise, like I just feel like flat colors work the best with his stuff. So funny thing is this book, he actually is his own colorist, and it looks great when he's coloring his own stuff. So I think, just minimal flat colors, nothing too fancy, and just really good color theory makes his stuff sing. I love this sequence here is awesome. Just his use of like negative space and storytelling. It's really great. Cranberry Landers, how you did not get the cats yet. In a week. Okay. That'll be cool. That'll be great to see. You gotta just post a video of your cats. That would be amazing. I have my suspicions that my cat is the reason my previous phone died. I could see that. I think I saw like a diagram that somebody did of like the difference between what cats think about and what dogs think about. And like dog was like love and owner and like, friendship and blah, blah. And the cat was like food. What was it? Like food, sleep. And then there was like a little small sliver of the brain thinks about murder. So I could see that your cat would sabotage your phone. I'm excited about the puzzle of Sean's art I ordered today from Michael Baron. Yeah, I mean, like, do you remember how many pieces that puzzle? It said that puzzle was. I can't imagine putting together a puzzle of Sean's work. That would be really crazy, and that particular piece too. That would take forever. That would blow my mind. Love the use of color here. And there's a little bit of painted texture up here that he adds too, which is neat, or digital texture or whatever. But this is a great choice of colors. I don't know much about the story. It's a non-canon Batman story, so it's like an alternate reality of Batman in this story. I think what happens, I actually read the summary on the back. What happens is there's like this. They call him Bruce Wainwright, and he takes a very dark turn. This Batman takes a very dark turn and is like a creature. And so this view right here is from like the Bat creature's point of view. So it's nice to use the colors to do this very stylized version of the colors here. And you can tell it's from its point of view because it's like you see the hand here and just the angles he's picking. That's great. Great spread right there with the shadow. He's just like slashing people. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that subtle difference in the color here? Like indicating this mid-tone here on the face. It's awesome colors. Cranberry Lane just says, I love that page too. The day it died on me, I woke up that morning to him having thrown a number of things out of my windowsill. My phone being one that was thrown Stupid cats. Oh, man. Cats don't like things being on their paws. Yes, I know. But yeah, just the disdain that was on its face was like, cats just, you love them one day and they hate you. And but we really love our cats. Our cats are just part of our world. So they get away with a lot. It's great. Every time it's like from that like point of view of the Bat character, the Batman character. It's like this red prone. Then he's got these red eyes. How scary is that? John Paul Leon. Man, that guy was so good. Ooh, that's great. Wow. It's really dramatic and striking, and the use of color in this is exactly how his stuff should be colored. I purposely grab Lucky's paws when he's being... So what I do is like I was mentioning my one cat, when he wants something, and he'll be really annoying about it. So sometimes he'll be at my legs here while I'm working or whatever on the computer, and he'll just like grab, and he'll like stick his nails in my leg to try and get on my lap. And then I'll inevitably have to put him on my lap. And then if I have to get up from my seat, he'll always take my seat. Like he's just wanting my seat. And so I come back from like going to the bathroom or going to the kitchen and he's in my seat. So I have to pick him up. Really annoying. So I've taken to keeping his comb nearby my desk because they don't really like being combed as much, and they're kind of fluffy cats, so you got to work through a lot of mats. And if he does that and he's annoying and he's on my lap, I'll just start combing all the mats out of his, and then it'll make him like really pissed off and he'll jump off. Love these colors. It's like green and reds, very, very subtle reds, but beautiful. So yeah, like you would annoy them by holding their paws. I do that too. I'm like, well, I'm going to comb you now. You want to be on my lap? All right, I'm going to comb you. He was just insistent on crawling into the narrowest part of just to circle around to the wider area. Yeah. Or they'll do the whole thing where they like, scratch at the door. Then you let them in and you close the door and then they scratch going out the other way and you can't like in and out. What is it with cats doing that? Does anybody know why they do that? It's such a weird thing. These colors and pages look awesome. Yeah. I got this book for $10. It's a total steal. Mark got the 500 piece version. He had a 1,000 and a 2,000 piece option. Oh my gosh. I'd be so afraid to lose a piece of that for any of those. But that's funny. The cat swats Mark off his boat. No, Mark's a dog person. How would you like it if you're just laying somewhere and somebody keeps grabbing your feet? I don't know. That book looks great. I've never heard of it, but it looks amazing. It's really good. Rest in peace, John Paul Leon. We don't get to have his work in the world anymore, other than what he's done, but he was a one of a kind. Great colors again here. Blues and oranges. Yeah, I love how creepy Batman is in this one. And these like red eyes. I love Lucky to bits, but at the same time, he's an absolute bastard. Yeah, I feel the same way. The George Carlin bit about cats and dogs is spot on about cats. That's great. It's good to have an antagonist relationship with you. I know, right? Again, with the, I know they think they look so cute, but they're probably thinking about murdering me when I sleep or suffocating me. No, they're super sweet. They're super sweet. I think I've mentioned it before, but I have one cat that acts like your stereotypical cat. Does the things that your stereotypical cat does. But then I have another cat that is very much like a dog. So he like follows us around. He's such a companion. He'll like see us out when we go out. He'll wait for us at the door when we come back. He's a little bit anxious, but he's very weird and very quirky. But yeah, just their personalities. They're very different. Then the other one, the one that I was just talking about, that's like pushy. He's not the smartest, or not the sharpest tool in the shed. And he acts like it too. Hey, this guy looks like me. I'm represented, guys. I'm represented. These are so awesome. It's like any angle. I had mentioned this before. Any angle, anything, any object, any person, any angle of the person John Paul Leon could draw. Look at that. It's really good. All right. It was a 4-issue limited series. Wow, that's creepy. I just finished reading one of the books that I had borrowed from the library. I showed you guys several streams ago was from the Geiger team. Gary Frank is the artist, and Jeff Johns is the writer. Jeff Johns is wow, look at that. So cool. Jeff Johns is quickly becoming my favorite comic book writer, current modern day whatever writer right now. He I just love his writing and the different angles that he approaches, like characters that we're very familiar with, like Batman and Superman and Green Lantern. And then now with all the Ghost Machine stuff, he's writing all the books that I love. A Ghost Machine, Rook Exodus, Redcoat, and Geiger. And I just love his writing style and the artist that he's paired up with. Here's some pencils, John Paul Leon pencils. Woo! Beautiful. For somebody who has such a like gestural ink style, like his pencils are really tight. So yeah, Jeff Johns wrote this book. I finished the first one, and I'm reading. Well, this one is the third volume, but I finished the first volume. It's called Earth One, Batman Earth One. I borrowed them from the library, but it was really good. It was a quick read, really good. Alternate reality for Batman again, but just the pacing of the story and the artwork was awesome. Like, look at that. Definitely the Geiger feel to the stuff. But Gary Frank is great. Good stories. So I recommend that one. Earth One. Why did I bring that up? Jeff Johns. I don't remember why I broke it up. I can't remember anymore. Okay. Well, what are you guys talking about? Hand itching. Speaking of Beatard's Berserk 1999. What? That video is honestly accurate, just instead of the toilet, it's my bedroom floor. Oh, the video that Awesome One posted. Tiny Toons is legit. It is. I used to love Tiny Toons. I don't think Lucky plots murder. He also equally capable of being sweet in the mornings, but I have reason to believe he has limited brain cell access. So yeah, it's like they're either too smart for their own good or not smart enough. I'd love being a kid again, minus the bullying. He's up there kicking it with Kim Jong-ji, right? John Paul Leon. Yeah, Kim Jong-ji is another one that we just lost too early. This is the other one I picked up today. And you would say, don't you already have this, Rocky? And it's one of those things similar to Craven's Hunt that I know I had a copy of this, either the individual issues or a compilation, but I don't have it on my shelf anymore. That might have been from the move. I think I've talked to you guys before. We've been through several floods before, and I lost a bunch of books that way. So I don't know if I lost them then or whatever, but this was on the sale rack, and I was like, well, shoot, I gotta get it. Because the cool thing is it not only has the miniseries, the seminal Wolverine miniseries compiled in here, but it also has some issues of Uncanny X-Men that Paul Smith drew, kind of in line of the same plot line like in Japan with Wolverine, which these are great issues too, with a Silver Samurai, classic cover. So Paul Smith, and then like this is a classic Wolverine and Silver Samurai spread. Amazing. And then they also included some pencils in the back of this one of Frank Miller's work. You guys know how I love me some Frank Miller. I just finished reading the Xerxes series, which came after 300, or he did it after 300. So Frank Miller, one of my all-time favorite comic book artists, comic book creators, writers. But it's cool because they included like the pencils and then the like different ads for them, and it's neat because they also show like I know I had this version. This was one of the the trade paperback versions, and I remember this cover. But I can't find it. This is an Adam Hughes cover. Cool. Alan Davis was the artist on Excalibur. Really great artist. Though it's just kind of cool to see, like, it's a neat way of seeing the different styles of coloring. So this is like probably how you would color it now with modern day computer coloring. And then this is how they colored it before, which, to be honest, I really love the old 4-color process. This is like modern day coloring of this cover here. And do they have the version that's not modern day? I thought I saw it. They should. There. Like, this is the original. I love that. I love, like, because they didn't have that many colors, they had to do all these tricks and techniques to just add depth and modeling in the way that they could, right? So they add this like blue rim light and then used white. They weren't afraid to use white here. That's amazing. And then you go to the computer colored version. It's like, oh, all these like lens flares and like glow effects and flesh tones and flesh tone rendering, like photoshopped clouds in there. I don't know, which one do you guys like? I love that one. Oh yeah, I can just do this. Here's this computer colored one. This is that one. Like, that's so cool. That's comics for me right there. Oh, Cranberry Landers say Jeff Johns was one of his favorite 10 years ago. Jeff. I always said Geoff. Did you? Geoff Johns? Really? Ferris Comics says, regrettably, I no longer have all my 1980s X-Men and Wolverine. I know. And those are the best ones. So thankfully, trade paperbacks are like the thing now, and you can find trade paperbacks of anything, like the Cable series and this. And so yeah, when I saw this on the rack, I was like, oh shoot, gotta get it. And then the fact that it included these Paul Smith issues and then all this stuff in the back, and it was only, I forgot, I think this one was $10 too. Like, I looked on Amazon, you can get the same one, but it's for like $18. So I was like, okay, I gotta get it. This is classic Frank Miller right here. Also no longer have my Charlton comics. Oh, bummer. I don't know why I just did that. I just put an animal cracker in my mouth. That's probably the worst thing you can do when you're talking on a microphone. Sorry. It's like not only going to be noisy, it's going to make my mouth dry. Here's a Frank Miller stuff. And this is where Frank's being inked, still inked with by another person, not inking his own stuff. I remember seeing this as a kid and being like, wow, that looks like a photo. This is such a good story. And I loved how Frank Miller used these long horizontal panels. He was just pushing storytelling a lot, learning a lot from like Will Eisner, very different, and like manga, samurai stories, Lone Wolf and Cub. It's where he was just injecting this stuff into his American comics, just flexing his like Frank Miller muscles. That's a great composition right there. I always find like when you can look at a panel in a comic book and you can hear it, not just the dialogue, but you can hear the panel, Like this, I look at this and I can just hear the like wind and like the arrows, and it's really cool. Wow. Classic. See, they didn't like render out all the folds, color all the folds of all the ninjas and stuff. Like they just did this like a magenta color, and it's so effective. It's amazing. This is the kind of coloring I want to do for my comics, at least, if they're not black and white. Everybody's saying I prefer the original colors. I like the original more. Yeah. Fletch tones don't look good with every art style. That's true. It's definitely true. Like some artists' stuff looks way better with stylized colors than with overly rendered stuff. And vice versa. But I'll always go for the like limited palette stuff because they just did stuff that was more inventive, more daring, you know. But there's some great, like, you know, just looking at the like Jeff Johns, Gary Frank stuff, like there's some great coloring on that too. And it's rendered out more. It's not as flat as this. Like that's awesome. You can see how somebody would totally screw that up with like computer lighting and glow effects and shading and all that, and they had to do this with their like tints with their like Doc Martens colors. Man, powerful. Okay, gotcha. I love my animal crackers though, and I've like put a bunch in a bowl. I put a bunch in a bowl before I started streaming, but I didn't think it through. That these aren't the right things for streams. Next time I'll just bring a huge tub of peanut butter. That'll work better. So the colorist too, for those of you who are interested. Oh, this is Glenn Wayne. She did some, and then I guess Lynn Varley. I was gonna say, wait, did Lynn Varley do the Paul Smith stuff? No. Why do I feel like? Oh, I hate it when they do that. Like for some, you guys never notice, like for some graphic novel compilations, if they what they'll do is they'll remove the credits in that are in the original comic that says like, oh, written by blah blah and art by blah, and they'll just put them in the front. So sometimes you don't know who worked on the individual issues. You have to always reference like the table of contents. I mean, this one they have it here, but like here I feel like is where they would have put like Frank Miller, artist, and Chris Claremont, writer. Unless they put it on another page. I was just looking for the colorist because Lynn Varley was the same colorist for Frank Miller. They actually used to date, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was wrong. But they do that sometimes where they'll remove it out of the compilation. But so Lynn Varley colored this, and she was the colorist on Dark Knight Returns. She was like the best colorist on Frank's stuff, arguably. And they were together all the way through like Dark Knight Returns and even some of his later work. She did the colors. Then she started, and she was a great painter, like with her colors. I think she did the colors on some Daredevil stuff that he did too, if I'm not mistaken. But then she started doing computer coloring on the Dark Knight Returns 2, and that's when I was like, what is going on with Lynn Varley stuff? It was really weird. I think she was just trying to do computer coloring and experiment with computer coloring because that was the in thing at the time. She's trying to catch up to the rest of the industry, but I didn't like her computer colors at all. They looked horrible on Frank Miller's stuff. I liked it better when she was experimenting with traditional media. But I love these flat colors. I love this kind of stuff. Paul Smith's work is pretty clean. Tends to be really clean. And these kind of colors work really well with his artwork. Like this, like trying to make this look from this panel to this panel look like it's lit without any crazy fancy computer effects. It's all like color theory. Is not easy, and it's so effective. This is fight with Shaw. Did he fight with Shaw in this? Oh yeah. Oh wait. Oh, not there. Was Shaw in this? I don't remember. From like the Hellfire Club? I don't know. He was a great character. I love this Wolverine face. It's so simple. Animal crackers are too expensive. Are they? I just got a huge bucket from Trader Joe's. They weren't too bad. Trader Joe's has more affordable animal crackers. They're super yummy. Mukbang is also another popular type of content. Mukbang? I don't even know what that is. What is that? I get generic. Yeah, I get generic. Me too. I like this showing of story art. Easy. Yeah, I'm hearing things. I'm going crazy. My comic would one stick figure per page. Faces rock. A ton of great panels in the series. Yeah, they're so classic. And the story was just really, really good. Like Wolverine at his best. I've seen so many different people like quoting these pages or like showing screenshots from these pages. These are just like burned in people's brains for who Wolverine is. Like when you inserted this like Japan, this world of Japan with Wolverine, it was perfect. Like who wouldn't want to see Wolverine fighting ninjas? Do you guys remember? Like I remember in the 80s growing up, like everybody was into ninjas. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for comics and stuff, but I used to watch like there was this one guy who would play a ninja. He had so many movies. I think it was like Revenge of the Ninja was the big one with Sho Kosugi. I was so obsessed with the guy. I had a poster of him on my wall, but like, and then everybody would dress up as a ninja during Halloween. And then, you know, Snake Eyes and not Cobra Commander. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were really popular because they were like ninjas. Yeah, ninjas were the bomb. They should keep the books as printed if it doesn't really spoil the image. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like recoloring stuff for like to make it more modern. I'm not a big fan of that. I know that Killing Joke was recolored. Brian Bolland, for those of you who are familiar with Killing Joke, another classic, like part of my childhood story. Brian Bolland actually didn't like the way that the colors ended up in Killing Joke, and I thought they were really good, but he didn't like it at all. So when they re-released it, I don't know how many years ago. They've released so many versions, but one of the versions they released that he actually recolored the whole thing himself. And I looked at it recently, and I actually saw an interview with him, and he was saying how he's not a stylized color kind of guy. He's a little bit more like sky is blue and flesh is whatever, flesh color, and grass is green. And the way that the original Killing Joke ended up being was there was a lot of stylized colors. I think, this is really testing my knowledge. I think the same colorist who colored Watchmen colored Killing Joke. I'll have to check up on that. But which Watchmen had very, very stylized colors too, and I love those colors as well. But that apparently is not how Brian Bolland, the artist, liked to color his stuff. So he recolored it, and when I looked at it, I was like, it's not as poppy. It's not as like dramatic as the original. So, but he's the artist, so he had a certain vision for it. Here's two different colored versions. Speaking of color versions, two different color versions of that pinup, that Frank Miller pinup. I love this one way more. It just reads better, right? Like these ninjas are very muddy, and there's too much going on with all these like spray splatter effects. Look how effective that is. Just lets the art sing. I mean, there's watercolor effects in here. But yeah, this one's just like too much. Rah! Like you can't really distinguish the ninjas from one another. They're just a big mass. And here they're a big mass, but you can see each one of them pretty clearly. This is beautiful. Beautiful image. Anyway, okay. So those were the two books I picked up at the store. And then, holy cow, it's already 6 o'clock. Just the last couple things. I did pick up the new Redcoat, number 4. I think I had mentioned to you guys I was expecting this one to come out. Speaking of Just Johns, I was expecting this one to come out. And here's somebody who is a computer colorist, Brad Anderson. Does a great job. I love these colors. So it really depends on the artist and the story. But I could also see this one being colored a lot more simpler. But I think the way that he uses computer colors doesn't overpower the artwork itself. He's got great color theory already working in there, so he doesn't have to overdo it. Doo-doo indeed. That reminds me of like at my old company, like we would have meetings and stuff, and every time somebody would say like, and that's what you do, I would always be in the corner and my other friends would be in the corner. We'd be like, like totally immature. We're like, doo-doo. It's always funny. Never not funny. Hello?
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
John's in the house. Welcome, John. How was your walk? Glad I'm still here. I got to wrap it up pretty soon. But glad you're here. You made the end of this. Oh, cool. That's cool. More consistent stuff. Everybody I've been seeing too, other reviews. This is awesome. I actually peeked at this. I haven't read this book yet, but this is awesome. George Washington is still alive. It's fun. It's really good. It's like, how can you take these historic figures and make them like epic superheroes? And that's what they're doing. I love this. This must be referenced for like some sort of fisheye angle. So cool. But different people I've seen, different other YouTubers and people reviewing comics, all have pretty much been singing the praise of Ghost Machine and just saying how great all of the books are. So it's awesome to see. You know, you think out of the first 3 books that they come out, maybe one will be really good and the other 2 will be okay. But I keep waffling every week of which one of these 3, Redcoat, Geiger, or Rook Exodus is my favorite book. I just finished reading Geiger number 4 yesterday night, and it's good. It's so good. It's a really, like, that character is becoming one of my favorites out of the Ghost Machine world. It's just such an interesting power and how he uses it and how he looks, his design. It's really fun. But Redcoat's great. It's funny. And then Rook Exodus is just epic sci-fi adventure. So yeah, this one came out, and I'm assuming Rook Exodus will come out next week. And then lastly, if for those of you guys who were on Shant's night stream on Monday, one of the things he was mentioning that was that I guess John Malin, for those of you who know John Malin, one of his big influences was Will Sportaccio, which John Malin used to work for Rob Liefeld. So you would think like, oh, And the book I just got from him was godlike. You would think like, oh, where's he would have like a Rob Liefeld influence, but it was never, his stuff never felt like Rob Liefeld's work. His artwork never felt like Rob Liefeld's work. And then Shant told me during that stream that like, I guess Whilce Portacio is one of his big influences. And when I put that 2 and 2 together, I was like, that makes a lot of sense based on Whilce's art style. So part of the conversation, Shant was saying, oh, did you pick up the Stone Omnibus? Stone was a book that Whilce produced with Image Comics after Wetworks. And he's like, did you pick up the Stone Omnibus? And I'm like, no, and I didn't even know they had one. So he sent me the link and I was like, oh, geez, wow. Maybe I should pick that up. But I didn't bite the bullet on that yet. It's a little expensive. But then I was rifling through the dollar bin and I found Stone issue 1 at the comic book store today. So I was like, well, I got to get that. But take a look at that. For those of you who know Malin's style, like check it out. Can you see like the influences there and like Malin has got a great hair game on his characters. And he does this a lot where the character, like huge character, like breaks the panel. Like you can totally see his influence here. So yeah, this is Stone number 1. And this was inked by, so Whilce Portacio is a Filipino artist. Used to work on Uncanny X-Men and he did a stint on Iron Man. He was a Marvel artist, predominantly a Marvel artist. He did work on Punisher early on. He actually started off as an inker on the Long Shot series that I've reviewed here before. But he is an incredible artist in his own right. And then he brought some guys over or discovered talent from the Philippines over here. And one of them was this guy, Jerry Alangulan, who I'm pretty sure Jerry passed away. What is it with me and talking about artists that pass away? But Jerry Alangulan, the first time I was exposed to his work was he won a like Wizard magazine fan art contest. And I was like, wow, this guy's good. And he was from the Philippines, but I guess he connected with Whilce and then he started inking Whilce's stuff. So he inked Stone. And one of the characters in this book is named Jerry Alangulan, which is pretty funny. Much needed walk for John. Is Rocky going with a chat timer again? Oh, when it like fades out? Is it? It should be. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Oh wait, yeah, it should be. It's always set to it's like 20 seconds, I think. My cat isn't super talkative, but very destructive. I was just thinking about color theory yesterday. Great. What were you thinking about it? Rocky gonna be like Aldous and talk for 2 hours and ignore chat, maybe. You guys know I wouldn't do that. Mukbang is eating foods on camera. Oh. I don't know if I would do that. Just flying by to smash the like. Is that a facsimile edition X book? Paul Smith? No, it's not a facsimile edition. But yeah, Paul Smith is in this one. Shelby, what's up? How you doing, man? Oh my gosh, you guys. Go check out Shelby's latest stream. He was inking a Mark Silvestri pencil drawing of Pitt, Dale Keown's Pitt. And Shelby just finished the inks on that. He posted it on X too. And it is incredible, man. Looks so good. Yeah, this is it's like a deluxe edition that is both, and then they had the miniseries, the Miller miniseries, and then they included these issues by Paul Smith in Uncanny that tied into his trip to Japan. Pretty cool. So yeah, I just picked this up. It was on the discount rack at my comic book store, and I was like, that's cool to have those both compiled together. I feel like the chat ninja Rocky right now. Rocky still doesn't know I'm here. Yes, I do, John. I know.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
Actually, in all fairness, I'm super behind on the chat, so maybe you now know I know. Confusing. I live in the sticks. No Trader Jerk around. We only have Scar Mart. Okay. Yeah, I am way behind. We were talking about animal crackers back then. Shelby was talking about cats. Ninjas are super cool. Okay, yeah, I'm way behind. I heard ninja. Were you talking about me? Maybe. Chat ninjas are less impressive. Less impressive than cranberries?
This is a cranberry, full of power.
John stole your title. That's a total ninja move, stealing her title. I love the recolors because it allows you to see the line art more clearly. So much noodling that isn't visible in the Uncanny X-Men annuals by Art Adams that you can now see in the Adams Omnibus. Okay, I can buy that. I think whenever I see recoloring that goes so far different from the original flat colors, then I'm like, meh. But I can see that. Hey, Cherish Psalms, how are you? Good to see you again. My favorite ASMRist. Me? I don't think so. Sho Kasugi was the villain ninja in the TV series The Master. Oh, okay. I'm going to write that down. I've never heard of that. I know he was super famous for, for his like martial arts and acting, but yeah, I was a huge fan of that. I just recently something that made me feel super old was I was also a big fan as a kid of Ernie Reyes Jr. because I think I just related to him growing up Asian American. He was Filipino too, but he was also in the like he knew karate or whatever. And so I was like, oh, that's so cool. And like, he was also a stunt double. He was in, I think, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie too, but he was also a stunt double for one of the turtles, like Donatello or something like that. Anyway, big fan of that guy. And then I was just like, oh, I did a search on, oh, I wonder what he's doing now. And he looks so old now. And I'm like, dang, we're all getting old. He's not like the cute little kid anymore. We love ASMRists. Really? Okay. Hello, John, even though you invited me here. Thank you for coming, Cherisums. Hopefully you will start coming here out of your own desire and not just John guilting you into coming. 8 p.m. For you, awesome one? Yeah, I'm an hour late. Why did you do this to me, John? Okay, let's see. John enjoys torturing people. He's like that. So much red going on in this comic. Was it Stone? No, you're probably talking about the... Oh, no, you're talking about the Redcoat. Was it? Redcoat's red. Redcoat. What's it, the Wolverine? Might be Redcoat. I've returned to Rocky as yet noticed or not. No, I notice. Gotta go, guys. See you later, Cranberry. Have a good day. Thanks for coming. George Washington. Japan takes historical figures and turns them into anime boys all the time. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And they make it entertaining too, so it's really good. Is it still an Irish goodbye if you keep coming back and saying goodbye? Next week, my good friend Rob Duenas' very own Spawn comic launches with number 1 of 5. Spawn kills every Spawn. Cool. All right, I'm going to have to check it out then. Is it like a comedy book? Like Deadpool flavor? It sounds like a Deadpool title. Spawn kills every Spawn. It's like, is it cartoony or is it like serious? It sounds cartoony. But that's cool. I'll check it out. I will definitely look at that. Washington was a hero. What do you mean? I just read an article about some school like taking down a George Washington statue in front of the school. And I'm like, really? I mean, I know whatever, people taking down statues, slavery and all that kind of stuff. But George Washington, why would you take that? Like, was he that bad? Did he have skeletons in the closet? Dang it. I always thought he was one of the good ones. All right. Do you have your sub notifications on for Rocky? Oh, okay, you guys. Rob is Sketchcraft online in most forums. You've seen him in my chat. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm excited. That must be so cool for you to see like friends like getting their books out there and putting out there. If I'm not back by the end of the stream, thanks, Rocky, everybody. All right, see you later, Cromie. No, I'm totally wrapping up, but thank you again for coming. I forgot to sub, but I'm sub now, Johnny boy. Thank you. Booyah, Cherish Psalms. We are over 250 subscribers, and you are helped me get over that point. So thank you so much. That was another reason why I wanted to stream today, or try and cram one in, because I was so excited that we hit 250 and just wanted to celebrate with you guys. It's not the same when I'm like by myself in a room. I'm like, yeah, 250. Cricket. Cricket. But now when I say it, actually it's still the same. I do hear crickets, but you guys are here. Will says buds with Shelby. I'm sure Shelby's crossed over with Will's. Unsub. Awesome one.
Yes! That's awesome!
You're amazing. You finding comics in dollar bins? Now I want to find random comics. I love dollar bins. 85% of what's in a dollar bin is stuff that I don't like. But when you find like that, like Stone number 1 for $1 dollar bin, come on, it's great. Yeah, I love the hunt. I love the hunt. I will hunt in any store that has I loved used bookstores, love comic book stores that have like dollar bins and stuff like that. Yeah, I love the hunt. That's part of the joy. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. Shelby only chats to talk about his vast wisdom. Shelby's all about the knowledge, man. I appreciate all of his insider knowledge. It's great. It's like all the stuff you wanted to know as a kid, and you get the inside scoop. So it's great. Awesome one. I'm not even repeating this. I'm not even repeating that. We'll let you work that out on your own. Literally. Okay, I'm back. Bonsoir. Cherished. He has acknowledged me now, and he missed me. He was in the last dragon. That was right. He had a headband that like glowed. It had like some power. Wasn't that? There was like some detective, like a white dude, a detective that like adopted him or something. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. John walking into his vast Japanese house has made the fatal mistake of not wearing his house shoes. Oh my goodness. One day you'll come on your own accord to harass Rocky with the rest. That's right. That's right. Equal opportunity harassing. I'm always excited to come, but I've been relying on John to send me live. John is like the walking notifications. John.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
That's what should be your notification. You should hear that. Oh my word, emo is here. Double pressure. Wow. You guys are funny. Let's see. It's because of you. If everybody just stopped talking, please don't stop talking. I love it. But if everybody just stopped chatting, I would have been done 3 hours ago. But no, I got to read it. It's too interesting. Because otherwise, I don't know if you guys know this, like when YouTube processes, like when I hit done, it takes a while to process. And for like a 2 to 3 hour stream, it takes like overnight to process and post again. So then I can't read the chat until the next day. So yeah, I'm trying to, I want to read it now while it's live, while you guys are here. No, we want more bound to, I can't, dude. Not today. We'll just say Ladronn was like the bande dessinée, the touch on bande dessinée. Oh, I'm so baller. I'm the 251st subscriber. Never forget. Is it 251? I think you might be 252, Cherry. Yeah, 252. You're 252. Ferris Comics was 251. That's right. That's right. Shelby chats, Shelby draws, Shelby eats cereals. The end. Eat a piece of cereal. All right. We're good. We're good. Sent this at 15 minutes past. That was 2.5 minutes ago. See? Not too bad. Not too bad. I love that marker though, Mark. Mark obsession. MMO, what's up? So much talking. That's right, slamming 252. We're at 252. It's great. I'm very excited. I'm glad I should have had like party hats, party favors, a shirt that said 250 on it. I'm always a little hesitant to celebrate on social media because I'm like, I feel like I'd be like, dude, we made 250, and then like people will unsub, then I'll be at like 247 or something like that. So people like Awesome One would unsub. Oh, Sidekicks. Okay, yeah. Sidekicks was like wasn't Sidekicks a series? And I think Last Dragon was just like a TV movie. I think, right? I love that you know this about it because I know it wasn't that popular, but yeah, I was a huge Ernie Reyes Jr. fan. He was so cool. Like to see a little kid that was like my age, like kicking butt, and then like hanging out with the turtles, like that was a dream come true. Mr. Monkey Boy taking off. All right, see you guys later. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. We're subscribe count didn't update when I did. Now because you said something about it, I'm saying something, so you have to read it. That's right. See, someone if it was you, he skipped me. Unsub. I'm at the whim and the power of the chat. All right, guys. I'm seriously going to end it now. Sidekicks was the TV series, yeah. I don't think it lasted that long. I don't think it did that well. But I do remember that. I think then Last Dragon was the one where he had the power. Like, wasn't that the one where he had the bandana and it had like a medallion here? And it had some sort of like special power. And then Sidekicks was just whatever. He was just like a martial arts kid. Oh, my hair. Wait, can you tell which sub? I don't remember which sub you worked on. I would say you probably came in around 30s or 40s, maybe. That would be so cool if we could see people's sub numbers, but yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. But I will remember Cherished Psalms just because it's so close to 250. You did unsub to see if it would change. Well, that's not cool. Then YouTube's going to think people sub and unsub, and then it's just going to be like, this is a fake channel. The chat ninja would never do that. Right? Go eat your overpriced Trader Joe's food. I will. He still skipped my turn. Unsub. I don't have a sound effect for you, so I'm sorry. You can't unsub. You have to wait until I make a sound effect, and then you can unsub. Yeah, it's got to be a quick one. I started at, what time did I start? 4:45 or something my time. So it's got to be a little bit of a quick one because I had to go eat. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up and dealing with my craziness. I'm going to rewatch this and make sure things didn't echo. The sound effects didn't echo. And hopefully just muting and unmuting on my mic was it. I don't know. So confusing. But I had a good time sharing these things with you guys. Cable, Batman, Wolverine, Ladronn, John Paulion, Stone, all that kind of stuff. Next week, stay tuned. Keep an eye out. Maybe I'll give a little prep too, because if I can coordinate this schedule with this person, I'm going to have an interview with that ties in the unboxing of a preview book that I pulled out, which will be really cool because the guests that will show up, I've never met him before, only met him on social media and YouTube, but he is such an infectious and passionate dude about comics. So I'm really excited to kind of meet him and talk to him about his book and share that with you guys and hopefully promote it more with you guys. So stay tuned. That'll definitely, I'm hoping it'll happen next week. I'm just working out schedules with him. So yeah, so that'll be great. And then more unboxing, more comics to come. Just reading comics like crazy. I'm just trying to catch up on all the piles of comics that I am behind on, but we're making them through it. All right. That's it. I don't think I breathed. All right. I have no idea what you were at when you saw. Okay, wait. I got to catch this because Ferris Comics is tracking with me. It's just minor character in The Last Dragon. The hero in the movie was Bruce Leroy. All right, I gotta see this. Bruce Leroy, The Last Dragon. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Oh man. This brings back so many memories. All right. Shoot. Thank you, Ferris Comics. This is so good. All right. What is trying to walk is when Rocky started. No sound effect on sub. Sorry. It'll come. Emo Trust, you're next in line, I promise. I won't force you to stay. Hey, if you show up next time, Cherisams, amazing things will happen. Unsub S. No. What are we doing here? What are we doing? All right. We're taking off. Did you guys hear my cat? He just meowed. He's hungry too. All right. Stay tuned for the credits. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.